3, it's 4, and it is 5 to see how the Australian GP will go. It's lights out, and away we go. Let's see how they're going to be all coming down here. The pit lane is about to get told to go. The race is going to get a little bit of a getaway there, but into the lead. Dom keeps the first position. Looks to me that we're having a juggling batch in the second spot. Not sure what's happening there. Chris is pulling out into second place as it stands on my screen, but Dom getting an absolute splendid getaway. He's been able to really get some strides out, really get himself away from the pack. 8/10 from himself to Bali. Then it's Chris. Chris seems to be having this second place. All of them coming through that chicane, and it looks to me a lot of them having incidents there. Sazem getting it all wrong into turn 5. Looks to me that Outgunn's apparently leading the GP, but I don't know what's going on there. Might be internet issues, but Dom H leads us away. Looks to me that Chris is in second. This Dom H looks a little bit too fast in my opinion, but it may be due to the tires that he has been on. So Dom H leads us away. Then we have Chris. Then we have Bali Pepe. Outgunned has been able to glitch up in the leaderboard there. I'm not sure what's going on with his little hacks there, but obviously, of course, for the first time in his career, Dom H has actually been able to get a really good getaway here. He's been really able to fight it on and to get it into the best position. He is flying away from everyone. Evan, then Chris, then Bali Pepe, then Dennis, then Outgunned. I'm not sure where he's not sure what's going on here. 39 seconds from Outgunned to Dom H, but now, since I know that this thing will eventually fix itself, Dom H does lead predominantly, but yeah, you know, he's got the fastest in his first. He's on the softs, going for a different type of strategy. He's going to need to have an overcut actually on these guys, because you know Dom H has really been able to step it out and step away from the pack for the time being, but there could be the risk of a safety car or such things happening back here. We've got Razor really far behind, but he's able to really make amends, passing Jaden already. 14 seconds Jaden is away from the front of the field, but he is going to keep going, keep pushing, and he's eventually going to be able to catch up with the different circumstances that this race may bring, as Dom H still taking the fastest first and second sector, looking to also be able to notoriously get further away from these lights. He is absolutely going for it. He is sending it through every single corner, through every single section, bumps all over the place. It is obvious that this man has really been able to get away from these drivers. Looks a little bit strange from my end, but you know, can't say too much here. I'm going to be keeping my lips sealed shut for the time being, and then see after this race. Bali Pepe is in third place. Then we've got Stealthy there, as Cam said, SC. Who is that? Oh wow, is that Outgunned? Yes, it is Outgunned. Unbelievable. Outgunned has been able to crash on the circuit, so the safety car has been called out. It has been called out, and the safety car has come out on lap 4 of this race. It's Dom, Chris, Bali, Denny Dennis, then Stealthy, then Evan, then Sus M, and then we've got Pikachu. Let's make sure that these drivers are going to be lining up, cause we will let you lead us away. Please wait at the first turn as the drivers will be catching up. We are going to be watching every single out of this spot, as you know, we do have some drivers which tend to do some strange things. No erratic maneuvers at the restart, by the way. Dom H has really been gifted here. He has had Outgunned crashing out very much early on here. Outgunned is he's made a mistake way too early, but you know, everyone's coming into the pits. Saz-M, on the other hand, is going to see the safety car driver waiting out the front. Will Saz-M be able to get up ahead? Yes, he will. He will be there and will be going to lead us away. Come on, cause you said you're going to do better this season, so step on it, you know, have an equal pace within the lap, cause let's keep this. Can Stealthy overtake if Pen? Evan? I've told him. I'm not sure what Evan's done there, but Evan's done something. You was ahead of Evan, question mark? Looks to me that something has happened back there. I did okay. Well, All good. Apparently, Bali was ahead on their screen. They have been able to get that nailed out for the time being. Not sure what's happening further behind. Drivers penalties. In the rule book, it states you can't take a penalty on the final in lap. So on the in lap, do not take on the safety car in lap. Do not take a penalty. I think what's his name? The guy. What's that guy's name? Lumi, you've got the rulebook open, so you can also use that to your advantage. It clearly states in there that you know, you're not allowed to take a penalty on the end lap. So there we go. We've got the safety car is still going to be coming out, and the safety car will not be coming in this lap. It'll be coming in next lap. It will be coming in this lap. So yeah. Wait, when you guys cross the line, of course. Safety car is coming in this lap. It's coming in this lap. Let's see what's going to be happening. Oh, 5% chance, and the rain has head itself down onto the circuit. Unbelievable stuff at Australia, and the rain has just come straight down, straight onto the dang track, and that has affected these lads from coming in. Check if inters or wets. Apparently people are going to be doing some strange stuff here. Foster, go back up. No. Then we've got Sus M. He is leading us away, but the dang game has apparently suggested wets. So the rain has come in to truly make a mix-up here. The safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap, but the drivers will be following it in as well. As long as Sus M does not overtake it and does not make a fool of himself, Sus M will need to be patient. I repeat, Sus M, don't overtake safety car. You will control the pace at this time. Okay. Yeah, it's a 10-second stop and go for you if it takes a while. Sussem is now going to really back them up, waiting until Cos hits the pits. Cos, let me know when you're in there.
I am in the pit lane.
He is in the pit lane, and Sazim slides into the pit lane as well, almost dying there, as they're all going to be running into the pits, as of course their tyres are all dead, and here they all come running into the pit lane. The drivers have now had to come in and make a tyre change. 5% chance of things changing, and really this is going to make an effect on who's going to be able to take the lead in this race. Is Rush leading? Yes, he is. He's on the inters, and Rush has made a magnificent strategy call. Somehow, in his luck, in his place, Rush leads the dang Australian GP, but for how long can he be able to hang on outside? And the only ever time that guy will lead, lol, be horrible, as Rush leads by a long shot, as they all had to pit, and he got lucky. He decided to come in later, and the rain changed for him. So Rush leads us away. Dom is in second. You might even say someone else is in second, but Dom has somehow been able to get an extraordinary wet start here, and Rush has really made an emphasis in himself, as Rush is getting himself away. 8.7 seconds is the gap from Dom H to Rush for the time being, at least. And then we've got a huge gap from Evan to the rest of the field. So Rush has really been able to make it up for himself, but is he on the right tyre compound? That is the real question. Maybe it will increase, maybe it will decrease. It is all depending on what these drivers know, of what these drivers have to say. Rush comes into the pit lane. He thinks the inters weren't the right choice. He comes into the pits. He makes a tyre change, and Peak is apparently into second place, but I'm not sure. Maybe it is the inters, maybe it is the wets. We're going to need to wait and see. because it has this huge slide, and it seems to be that it's wets. It is the time for the wets to come out here as the Inters are starting to degrade. They're starting to fall away from these guys as Dom H leads us away on the Inters, though. He's really been able to get something down here. He's going to get probably his first ever win in IFRL, but 20 laps to go until that is decided. Let's see what's going to happen here. Bali Pepe also trying to make an emphasis on his championship run here. He's going to need to get a good result in this GP. We've got 20 laps to see how that will go down, how that will happen in this GP. Let's see what Bali Pepe's got. If he's got more in the tank, more pace to show, as it's 48%, so it might just be on the crossover, might just be Dom H leads the GP for the time being, 4.5 seconds from himself to Bali Pepe. Then we've got Evan sitting in third, being absolutely honed in by Sassam. Bali Pepe's really been able to step it out on this season, though. He's made a huge comeback here. Sassam is softs. I mean, goodness me, wets are just not helping here. They're just not coming into effect. They're trying to get closer and closer on these drivers up ahead, but he's got the DRS and he really is trying to hold that position. We've also got Bali Pepe even trying harder to hold his position. Is Evan on the wets, though? Yes, he is. So Bali Pepe is in a huge ground of danger as he's got Evan being absolutely honed in, and Evan's going to make a move here. His tires are just up to speed, just up to temperature, and he goes for the second position. Evan hasn't been in second at this GP in a very long time, and yes, he is. I think he has been able to move up ahead of Bali Pepe here today, and my game's just had a huge lag spike, but yes, Evan takes second place, so clearly it's clear as day that the wets are the tires to be on, and that is clear to see here today. And what will the plan be for Dom H at this circuit, at this track? What is his plans? He's going to lose an abundance amount of time to Evan. Evan could be fighting for the win here. This can put him right back into championship contention for IFRL Season 4. Evan is going to be absolutely dancing at this. He's going to be trying his utmost hardest to get himself right up into it. We've got Dom H still leading us away, still on the Inters. I think he can start to feel the degradation, start to feel that the tires are sliding, aquaplaning around the circuit. 18 laps to go. What's the gap? 4.1. This could be very, very interesting. Piovana and Evan both made a move into P2 and P3. This will be a very fantastic weekend for the Alpine team if they're able to stick it down for the time being. But Evan is going to now push as hard as he can to get closer and closer to Dom H and potentially try and take the lead. But what is Dom H's plan? What is Dom H's future going to be entailing? But Dom H is struggling out there. He is not happy with the tyre selection and the AlphaTauri team have given him. Bumps almost decreasing his chances at getting a win. He's been struggling in this league to get a win. He's gotten 7 poles in his career, but 0 race wins, and that is Grand Prix wins. Yes, he has had a sprint race win, but he hasn't had a Grand Prix win. But let's see, maybe things will change. But I actually can't, as Jaden just parks the car. My iPad is overheating. Safe SM. Jaden is just going to stop on the circuit. Not sure what he's done there, but he's experiencing some failures. But Dom H, on the other hand, still leads us away. 2.8 seconds now, the gap from Evan to Dom H. So really, things are changing. Really, things are going in his favor. Things are truly trying to go wrong there. I'm not sure what's happening with Jaden. Jaden needs to come into the pit lane. Asked him to... What's Jaden doing? He's sitting in a very dangerous position, and he's not been able to move the car, but he's not on the circuit, so it doesn't require any FIA things to happen there. But Dom H, on the other hand, is going to be having to fend for his life as Evan has dropped the gap 2 seconds from what it originally was. Yeah, there's no need for safety car for Jaden. Then we've got Evan is truly starting to strike at it, truly starting to gain on Dom H. 1.6 seconds now is the gap. This is going to get very, very interesting. Jaden, I'm promising you. Bali Pepe said ... What's happened to Bali Pepe? Is he good? Oh, no, I think he's had a cut slowdown in his second sector unless something's happened to him. I'm not sure what has happened to Bali Pepe, but something that's extravagant as Jaden is now wheeling the car back into the pit lane, going at a valuable and stressful speed, and 7/10 is the gap from Evan to Dom H. Now we go back up to the front. We're going to be watching him very, very closely. Huge slide for Dom H into the wall. And that brings Evan into the lead of the race. He hasn't led a race in IFRL Season 4. He has now. Let's see what's going to be happening here. Dom H has struggled. He's made the wrong strategy call. The race temperature was just increasing and increasing, and the track wetness was really going into Evan's favor. And Evan now leads this GP. Jaden comes into the pits to retire the car. The McLaren team will not be that happy with it, but Jaden knows that this was indefinite. Jaden retires the car. He's going to hop out of the vehicle, and that will be it for Jaden. Evan, on the other hand, is now pulling away Dom H, and it is another track change, another session change. I'm not sure what's happening here today. It's getting unbelievable now. Another percentage has affected this race from happening. I'm not sure what's going on here. It keeps changing, like it's 1, 2, 3 at the moment, and I think even the percentage has probably changed, and actually it's gone from 5% to, what is it, to 10%. Yes, it has. Let's put it back to 5. Not sure why I did that, but yes. There we go. We've got Evan now leading the GP. Wait, let me just let everyone know. You know what, don't worry, they'll figure it out. I have recording proof. Evan leads the GP by 1.4 seconds. Was it worth the risk to stay out? Was it worth the risk to come into the pits, make a tyre change? Not sure if that's going to be the thing that's helping him here, but clearly Dom H is starting to come in ahead, and it's really helping his tires because the inters now work in these conditions. The wets aren't as plausible here, and that's really going to cost him. That's really going to make him angry here. He had a chance at getting a win here today, but he's now been thwarted by the weather changes that we've been experiencing at the Australian circuit. But here we go, another thing to put a spanner in the works. Will they come in at the end of this lap? Actually, Dom H could even risk staying out another lap because the rain percentage wouldn't actually be helping the softer runners until the latter stages of this race. But let's see what Dom H's plans are. It has really started to degrade in the track temperature, but it's now going to come in to the pits. I think Dom H is. No, yes, he has the opportunity to stay out another lap. As for Evan, Piovana, all the other drivers on the wets, it's just not going to be the same situation. What about the others? Are there any other runners that are doing the inter tires? I don't think so. It's going to be everyone coming into the pits other than Dom H. So really, this weather has come into his safety, come into his help, and that is, can't believe it. That is really giving him a huge go here, as yeah, it's 20%, so the inters actually are going to be helping and really be thwarting here. Bali Pepe actually was on the inters for that entire time, so that's going to give him another lap to get a huge gap on the other drivers, but he's going to really just lose out at the last sector, really, because it's already 15% and he's not even headed even close to the pit lane. So yeah, it's going to be dry conditions by the last sector, and that's really just not going to come into his help and his safety. 20 seconds is the gap from Evan to Dom, so Evan needs to keep pushing on. Will Dom get a slow stop? Will Dom not be able to come out ahead of these soft runners? Maybe his tires are just struggling a little bit too much. Evan needs to keep the hammer down, needs to keep pushing, needs to keep going, as Dom has almost come into the pits. He's missed the pit lane. Dom H stays out another lap. What is the plan here? It's not really going to be helping him here. He's going to lose so much time, but he is going to have tire wear advantage on the other driver. So maybe it was worth staying out another lap. Maybe it wasn't worth the track uh, position. So yeah, it seems I gotta go for a sec. Please don't crash. Great. From Cos, Dom H is going to be leading us for the time being, but really it's not going to be coming into his help as it's 4% already, and Evan has gotten into second place. It's a really good result for the Alpine team back onto the hards, but really is the hards the tie to be on, seems to be, because everyone else has opted for them. And Barley Peppers came out ahead of Razor, and so has Razor just gone straight onto the grass there and still isn't able to get a decent enough gap from himself to Piavana. It's not really been a race to remember for Razor. A man which has taken a sprint race win in IFRL Season 3, trying to get himself right back into it for Season 4. And Evan, on the other hand, he has really made emphasis on why he needs to be up here, as Dom H is, he's coming into the pits finally. He's going to be behind, but really the strategy is going to be coming in to his favor. Dom H pits and he's going to have a tire change. So this is going to really see, is it a long stop? No, it isn't. And Evan's going to come out ahead. Danny Denner will eventually come out ahead. I'm not sure if the DRS is going to even help him because he didn't get any. And they both overtake Dom. But Dom will come out behind the Aston Martin, but ahead of the Red Bull. And he's going to have the medium tire on. So he's going to have the advantage coming into the end of this race. Evan conspires and overtakes Dom H, and now he needs to notch those tires all the way to the end. Evan now is going to have his team, everyone rooting for him to get this W, as he said in the Alpine event launch. He said, let's go get that W, and really he is at the pinnacle of this spot. He's going to now need to go and get that W. If he can do it, maybe he can't, because he's got Chris behind on a purple in his first sector. Chris is also another man very hungry to take a win in IFRL Season 4. He's been dying for when he has been thirsting for it. He's been waiting day and night. Chris has gone through almost everything that he's experienced here. He's not been able to just get himself fluctuated in this league, as JZ is he's lost the tire. I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah, he's at 0 degrees. Wait, what? Wait, safety car for what? What safety car? He's on the track. No, but he hasn't crashed. No SC. He hasn't crashed, mate. He's just doing donuts. Hacks? JZ has done a few donuts, burnt some fuel, and is somehow having 134% on his tires. Evan has now been gained on by Dom H. Gray. Your commentary is amazing. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just amazed by JZ, because JZ's really, I'm not sure what to say. He's okay. We're not going to say anything. I don't know. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Evan is still leading us away here today. He's 2.6 seconds furthest away from Dom H, the man, or you can even say Dino, because I'm pretty sure it's him driving. Dom H said he wasn't able to drive here today, and watch. I'm gonna probably ask him a question, and then he's gonna be like, "Oh, I can't talk." But anyway, Dom H is leading here. I'm kind of disappointed, you know. But at the same time, Dino, you really must be addicted to the game if you're having to come into IFRL, the league that you so-called called the worst league. Like, why are you driving? Isn't you're that addicted, eh? But anyway, we're gonna get the DRS swing straight open. If this is actually Dom, my bad, bro. I'm conspiring. But Dom's somehow been able to get the DRS on the other drivers. This is really funny. Jason's got a tire glitch, but he still isn't able to catch up to everyone. That's unbelievable. But anyway, Evan leads us away with Dom H honing in sector by sector, and Dom H is now the closest that he's ever been from 1.1 seconds all the way to Bro has tires for 2 races, all the way down to 3/10, and he is really getting on it. He's really gaining an abundance of time through every single sector, eh? And Dom H is really making it an emphasis on why he wants to win, why he wants to get that W, but he's gonna now get a huge toe down this backstretch, and let's see what's gonna happen here. This is unbelievable, unfathomable by this driver. I cannot believe what is conspiring here, and it is actually happening at this moment in time for the time being. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Dom H takes the lead in this GP. He overtakes Evan, and Evan gets slouched when the safety car. Jason. Anyway. Dom H leads us away 1.4 seconds from himself to Evan. Evan really has just struggled. It's not 100% his fault, but he's now in a huge situation where Danny Denner is gaining. DRS is opening for the young Danny Denner. He's closing that gap, and he's gonna go for it, just being a menace. True, you could really just pit the car and retire it from there, but if you really don't want to do this anymore, I'm gonna try to get 200% tires. You can try in the pit lane. The Dom H still leads 2.1 seconds from himself to the rest of them, but Danny Denner really hasn't been able to make any strides. One man that has been able to make strides is Razor. Actually forgot about him, and yeah, he's actually been able to get up in to P4, trying to get his first podium of IFRL Season 4. Will it happen today? I doubt it. I don't think that's going to be the case here today, because it's clear as day. Razor just doesn't have the amount of pace that he used to have at some of his circuits, and 7 laps to go for the time being. Dom H continues to run away with it, and yeah, it's quite clear and obvious that he wouldn't be able to do this. There's only one person that I could think that is able to gap everyone so consistently as this. If he was actually driving, it would be much more closer. But, you know, I'll ask the question after the race. If he says some stupid donkey stuff, then I'll know. Piovana comes into the pits, wants to get off of his mediums. The mediums have degraded tremendously, and Evan is still in second place, and now is under a huge amount of pressure. And let's see what's going to be happening here. I do not have damage. What are you doing? You can't. It's literally a written rule not to crash on purpose, dude. Like, if you don't want to drive, then just pit.
I mean, he just did crash into a wall on purpose. It's not a safety car,
Yeah,
obviously, but
I'll say no safety car.
yeah, he had no front wing, so he just turned into the right 100%. Yeah, obviously.
Anyway, we go back up to the front. Dom H is here, and he is still gliding away. JZ is somehow still here. I just banned him. What the heck? Oh, wait.
He is gone.
There we go. Back up to the front we go. We've got Evan taking second place. I'm not sure what's happening to Denny Denner. Denny Denner is fighting with Razor. Evan has fallen tremendously behind, but now we've got to fight for second place. Razor, the man that I really wasn't paying attention, has now been able to fight his way right up into the second position of this GP, and Razor is flying. He really has found pace in that RB19, 18, whatever the name of that damn car is, because it's that good. But anyway, Denny Denner, on the other hand, now gets a huge DRS slipstream down at this backstretch. Is it good enough? No, it's not. He's just going to be tucked in right behind the Red Bull car, and he's going to need to get rid of this huge imbecile that he has up ahead, as he's wanting to get himself ahead and affirmatively running away with it. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. Huge slide Denny Denner gets onto the curb, and he's also going to get a patch of DRS, which brings Razor right back into it. Goodness me, brings Evan back into it. Razor is not going to be able to get a lunge up at Dom H. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about it. I'm not really going to give Dom H the celebration that he deserves, because he didn't win it. Dino won it, and I can just tell.
Dom H had a cut slowdown and Razor is in the lead.
Oh, well, Dom H has decided he wants to make himself as not obvious as possible, even though we have... Can you guys focus on commentating? Sorry, the kazoo, but yeah, Dom H has decided to give himself 2 corner cuts to make this race just that tad interesting. Huge slide from Razor. Hyper YT takes the lead from Dom H, which is now followed by the Aston Martin and the Alpine. 4 cars are about to be battling for the win at Australia. Thank you, Dom H. We did need that cut, because this race is about to be horrendously boring, but Razor now is going to be fighting for his win. He's fighting for his first ever Grand Prix win. The tyres are getting hot. The tyres are getting shaky. The vibrations will truly be affecting these drivers, and they're going to need to be able to handle the car, grab onto the wheel, and absolutely send it. This is it. There is going to be 3 laps, if my math is correct. 2 laps, including this one, of course. Then we're going to be on to the last couple of laps here. Razor is starting to run away with it, starting to pull away. Dom H is going to need to find the pace to close up and get the DRS. Yes, he does. Dom H, DRS down this back stretch. Is it going to be enough to get him close enough to the Red Bull car. No, it's not. He's going to need to wait until we get onto the longest straight, the longest probably straight of this entire circuit, unless I'm wrong again. But here we go. This is going to get absolutely tantalizing, absolutely outrageous. Dom H is almost cutting through every single turn to catch up to Razor. Razor now leads the Australian GP. Will it be his win? Will it be a positioning of greatness to get himself up there for the championship? But let's see what's going to happen now. We've got 2 laps to decide this race when Race is going to be hanging on for dear life. Dom H is going to be pushing with his utmost heart on his sleeve, and he's going to try and get his first ever win, try and absolutely send it here, as he knows that Razor has got the pace, he's got the RB19, and he has got the gap of 1.5 seconds from himself to Dom H. Dom H needs to focus, lock in, and use all the track that he can to get himself closer to the Red Bull. Will it happen today? Will it happen tomorrow? Will it happen next week? Let's watch what's happening here. Goodness me, I had to get distracted that bad. Okay, it's 2.1 seconds from Razor to the rest of them, so maybe Dom H has decided not to get his win. This will put Razor on a very good high unless he messes this up. 2.1 seconds is the gap to everyone else, unless it starts to rain. It's raining on the last lap of this race. Unbelievable stuff. Not enough to make a difference though, but yet again we have another change in Australia. Dom H is now going to be trying, but I swear if Razor slips. Nah, Razor's got this in the bag. The man coming from Malaysia. Next weekend is his home weekend, but Razor knows and will know that this is a very important win to start his hopes at getting an IFRL championship. Razor, for the first time in his career, will win the Australian GP. Razor's done it in IFRL and he's made a statement. Dom H is locked out. He's made a mistake and he's going to have second place. Razor wins the Australian GP. Evan finishes on 4th, missing out on the podium by 1 position. Barley Pepe probably will still keep the lead in the championship, finishing in 5th. 6th is going to be Stealthy. 7th is the other half of Chris, I think. I'm not sure if that was a tie, but that was incredibly close. Peak is going to finish in 9th. Sarsem is going to finish in 10th unless he makes a huge mistake, but very, very, very good race from Razor. Razor, can you tell us your thoughts? I know you're in this VC, I think you are, but what a race. Yeah, true. I should have won here in Season 1, but then I pulled it against Ranson. That's true. Congratulations, Razor.